Oh, okay. Hi, Anke.
Hi. Good evening, Isaac. Good morning, everybody. Today is birthday,
Oh,
yes, and it would be the nicest present to me to sit with you for a while.
it's an absolute pleasure. Mm, happy birthday.
Thank you.
Mm,
Thank you.
thanks. Mm. And you don't have to wait for your birthday to have time to go. Welcome to come anytime.
Isaac, do you see me?
Ah, I didn't see you. Thanks for speaking up.
Sorry. Mm,
Perfect. Hi, Bettina.
Hi, Isaac. Your sentence, I don't have to wait for my birthday. I found nice.
Ah, Antje.
Hello, Isaac.
Hi, Antje. Can you tilt your camera just a little bit so that your head is closer to the top of the screen? Otherwise, it looks like I'm looking down on you. Yeah. Perfect. Wonderful. Yeah. Thank you. Welcome to speak. You don't need to speak.
No, it's nothing to say.
Hmm. Please.
Hi, Isaac. Nice to be here.
Louise.
I was wondering if I could explore something that I did today that popped up while I was sitting here. Yeah. Sorry, my dog has just got an inopportune time to bark.
No worries.
I have a friend who I'm good friends with, and we have some shared views and some different views on things, and it's fine. And today, in a conversation, my friend was about to express something that I could tell I was going to vehemently disagree with. And I was in that state, I just shut it down so forcefully because I don't know why. And afterwards I sat with it and thought, why did I do that? Why was I unable to just hear that?
So let's shift the question just a little bit. I don't think, like we've been conditioned to think in terms of that I did it.
Mm.
What you noticed was there was a shutting down. But just to see, I mean, is there a difference between saying I did that or that something happened? I don't quite know how, what happened there. It's just like some old information or some just something shut it down. And see if that is a different question. If I did it or if it's just like, okay, it's a remnant of something that hasn't been explored yet. But just making that distinction to begin with.
Yeah, it's a good distinction because it was like just a something happening.
Yeah. So then just honoring whatever it was that did that. It wasn't you. It was something automatic and conscious. It just happened. There was no decision to do it. Just happened. So now we just like resting with whatever that was. We just unpacking it in a sense. Once you take that I did it out of it, it's a lot easier to explore it. So something in your system responded like that. In that response, there was a shutting down of a conversation or an invitation to go into a conversation. And just to make the distinction, was there shutting down from your friend, or was it just not wanting to engage in that particular conversation?
It wasn't a shutting down from my friend. It almost felt like to have that conversation felt threatening to the friendship.
Okay.
It felt or something.
Yeah.
There's something in that was like
Yeah. So then for me, the question is, okay, if somebody has an interest to speak about something that you have no interest in whatsoever, or that in fact you can see just will move in the direction of no meeting. Is it okay to say no thanks? I'm not interested.
yeah, I guess it is.
Yeah, I don't see why not. I mean, someone wants And everything's timing too. Might want to talk about whatever, you know, and it's like at that moment, there's no bandwidth for it, or no interest in it. And then just the distinction that if that is in some way projected onto the person, that it relates to the person, or just to what the topic, where it was going, where you could feel it there was no alignment, no agreement, but without, you know, the pulling away. Like in a sense, you could say always in the direction of valuing the friendship and not wanting to go into something that your system just felt like and not worth pursuing, because you know where it's going.
And what I would like to have been able to do is do that gracefully, or without my system going into shut down, because I feel like that actually was not helpful or kind, and maybe I could have stayed open, and it could have been interesting to hear why someone had that view. It just was so automatic that I don't understand that. Like, how do I stay open if that's happening?
Yeah. It's like just at a human level, when we see that somebody has a point of view that there's identification with, and there's no real interest to hear any different information, or there's just wanting agreement around something where you're 100% sure there won't be any agreement, because it's just on a different page, so to speak. I mean, that's a pretty common human dynamic.
Because it's so common and becoming more common, I guess my system overreacts. I feel like it takes stuff in as a knowing, and so it's quite black or white, and it can be, at times, which is ridiculous given that this is all, I mean, like, I know it's ridiculous intellectually, but my system doesn't seem to.
Yeah. You know what's interesting? I was watching. There was some experiments done where they got like about, I think, 10 people, and 9 of them were actors, and 1 person was the subject of the experiment, but they didn't know it. And they showed like a picture with 3 lines, where 1 line was obviously shorter. And when 9 people said, no, they're all the same length, invariably that 10th person would go along and say, yes, it's the same length, even though they could see it wasn't. And in that same experiment, when 1 person just said, no, 1 line isn't, the chances of that last person saying, actually being true to what they perceived, jumped hugely. So we're seeing that, like we're in an era now which of quite sophisticated steering people to certain conclusions, to certain perspectives. They even have a name for it, mass formation or whatever it is. So it's interesting to be able to not go along with what everybody's saying. It's just like, wait, no, actually I see it differently. But yet at the same time, not having to get into arguments around it or big discussions. We just see it differently. Okay, it's cool. But in this case, you know, there was something that just didn't want to go there. Kind of sensing or feeling like there was a position where there wasn't worth spending any energy talking around it. So maybe your system was a little bit abrupt, or you say shut down, I guess. Maybe that's a judgment. I don't know. It's just I was watching also this, you know, now with the advent of chatbots and AI, and you know how much that is anticipated to slant perspectives in a certain direction. It's like kind of critical that people start to be able to discern.
Yes.
You know, to me, it sounds like. Say again.
Well, there's an issue of discernment, which, you know, I guess
Yeah.
I'm going by my internal sort of guidance. But then I guess there's an issue of not being able just to stay, to handle it better, I suppose, because I think, as you say, we're going into this age where there's going to be, it's quite divisive. And in order to be heard, you can't be aggressive or seen to be shutting people down. Like I feel like to have impact, you've got to be able to even listen to complete nonsense and stay calm. And my system's not good at that.
I'm not sure if that's true. I think it's totally okay to say, look, I'm not interested. And for some people, that will feel abrupt. It's just like, no, look, I have a different perspective, and I'm not interested. I'm just not interested. That's okay.
Okay.
Like, you know, it's like, I don't know if we need to because to me it sounds like, and I might be off here, but it's like somehow there's a concern that the way your system responded wasn't okay in some way.
Yeah, that's how I feel, but it wasn't okay.
Yeah, it wasn't okay. So then what wasn't okay about it? How it made the other person feel, how it made you feel? What, because there's some idea that it wasn't okay. So just give a good sense of what wasn't okay about it.
I felt I shut the other person down through with a very strong view in response. I feel like I didn't and wasn't interested in letting that person continue. And so I felt that maybe it was just too forceful, and that maybe I feel uncomfortable with sometimes the degree of surety or force that I can communicate with.
Yeah. I mean, you know, it's quite a deep exploration because, you know, on the one hand, there's whatever's left of wanting to be liked or loved or seen in a certain light. And then there's just the honesty of, you know, a direct response that's true to many factors, how much sleep you've had the night before, how much, you know, how many times you've had that conversation, you know, just.
And I think it is tied up with feeling that sometimes that directness or force is unlovable, like is wrong in me. Or...
Yeah. So yeah, just have a look and see, is it wrong? Is it okay? But no.
Yeah.
No bells and whistles,
Okay.
no politics, just, yeah. If you want to, look, I enjoy our connection, but I'm not interested in arguing about viewpoints. So that for me are very clear.
Mm. Yeah, maybe it's okay. Thanks, Isaac.
Yeah, thanks.
Thank you.
Hi, Isaac.
Hey, Amy.
Something what, or not something, what Louise said brought up something with me also. Oh yeah. Yeah, I will just tell the situation. Some people around me are very reading a lot of news, not the mainstream news, but all the news that is trying to explain what's going on behind the screens. And when they talk about it with me, it it is interesting and it touches me what is going on. But then their interpretation often goes in a way that I say, please stop, I'm not interested in this. And I was just wondering, is this kind of an escape mechanism, or is it just because I feel that it's really not helping me? The interpretation often goes in the way there's some people deliberately doing wrong to the people and having bad plans with people. And I don't say it's not true, but it's just something I don't know. I cannot know. And when I go in that direction with my thoughts, then it really has a very desperate, yeah, it really depresses me. It really makes me not want to live, actually. And so I tell them, yeah, what you say, that is good to know, but I don't want to go in that direction because it doesn't help me in my day-to-day life. My thoughts go to simple things, my daily things, my work, my children, grandchildren. That's what I have to deal with. Is that really naive? I mean, maybe I'm really naive.
You know, to me, however we find our system responding is okay. You know, there's no right way to be or wrong way to be. It's just okay. For you, it's like that information in some ways it doesn't benefit your life. You know, so for some people, how can I say, even though they hear all that information, maybe for a while it touches something in them that's get something from it. Or, you know, what can also happen that there's a hearing all that and watching where the system bites in some way. It doesn't stay. Okay, it might be true, it might not be true, but just I'm more interested in my system staying loving and quiet. And yes, it could easily be true, and it doesn't change the quietness and the love.
Yeah.
You know, it's just like you know, I guess when there's a war happening and people are shooting each other and killing each other and dropping bombs on each other and all that stuff, we can know about it and we can watch what happens in us around it. And our interest is to stay as love, as peace. It's not like we don't see what's going on. We see it, but we're also more interested in peace and love and beauty. in the midst of all of that stuff.
It's
So
also
are there people, historically, have there been people that have done terrible things to other people? Absolutely. Has there been, like invasion after invasion? Has there been slavery? Has there been, I mean, gee, I don't think it's any different. It's always been like that in a certain way, yeah?
yeah, it
People
is.
doing,
It's actually very disturbing to start thinking about those people are wrong and are a threat.
I don't know if it's wrong or anything like that. I mean, I don't think if a lion eating a deer is wrong.
Sorry,
It's
I,
just
I
what
don't.
lions do.
Yeah, but what I want to express is that it feels very disturbing when you start making discernments about those are wrong because they're doing that. That feels very disturbing in
Yeah,
in
so
in the piece.
there's something to explore if it makes it wrong. So you can to see, okay, look, does a lion eat a deer? Yes. Does a crocodile eat whatever it catches? It grabs it, pulls it under the water. Yes, it does that. Is it wrong for doing that? No,
Mhm,
just what it does.
mhm.
Are there people that are more interested in power than being nice to other people? Sure, absolutely. Are there people that are psychopaths? Yes, absolutely. Are they wrong? Are they bad? It's all God in a certain way. We see it. We can certainly, you can say, seeing it might be depressing. I don't. But to me, it's just, yes, we look at it. Is it like that? Sure, it can be like that. It is like that. And still there are people that are more interested in peace and beauty and love without making wrong, but still seeing clearly.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Mhm.
Is there corruption and dishonesty and all that nonsense going on the planet? Geez, like, for sure.
Yeah, yeah. And I think it's good to see that because that
Yeah.
is very
And
valuable.
there's so much beauty, like
Yeah, yeah,
you take in the Second World War, there were people being incredibly cruel and vicious and nasty, and there were people that were risking their lives to save other people.
yeah,
Both sides.
yeah.
There's people doing such amazing things.
Mhm.
I don't think anybody is right or wrong. It's just where your heart pulls you. It's like,
Yeah, yeah. Mm.
me, like it's regardless of what's happening, can we remain as love, as peace, as that quietness?
Yeah.
For some of us, that's the interest. For other people, it's like, how do I make money? Doesn't matter what I have to do to get the money. If I have to lie, if I have to steal, if I have to cheat, if I have to kill people. You see how we, like this whole epidemic that happened where the pharmaceutical companies sold stuff knowing it was addictive.
Mm.
and going to cause so much destruction just to make money.
Mm. Yeah.
The
Mhm.
opioid crisis, yeah, whatever you want to call it. It's like, oh,
Mm.
it's going on all the time.
Mhm.
Now we're interested in peace and beauty,
Mhm.
bringing that into the moment, regardless of and because there's no separation. Every single part is being played by the same intelligence, isn't it?
Yeah, sometimes the system feels so like it's receiving so much information, and
Mhm.
it's, I don't know where it comes from, but it's so incredible to realize that you're actually everything.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Mhm. Yeah.
Then there's no separation. There's just seeing, okay, that's a lion, that's an alligator, that's a crocodile, that's a,
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah. Yeah.
that's a liar, it's a politician, that's a whatever.
Yeah. 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 Thank you.
I
You.
mean, you see,
Mm.
some people become policemen to help people and to look after
Mhm.
people, and others become policemen to be bullies.
Yeah. Yeah.
Really ugly,
Yeah.
like
Yeah. Mm. Mm. Thank you, Isaac.
thank you.
Thank you.
Christine. Hi.
Hi. There's a situation in my house at the moment where my housemate's having people stay for the weekend in the living room, which I might have been okay with, but she's been quite aggressive about it, and I feel, I don't know, it's created so much resistance around the situation. And it's like I'm completely caught. I feel completely caught in the moment.
Just for fun, what is that, like there's a communication and that aggression. What's it really saying? You listen. There's lots of layers.
I think maybe she feels guilty about having them stay.
So she's been aggressive, or aggression has come up in you? I didn't fully follow that.
She's being aggressive about, like, saying if you don't like it, it's still going to happen anyway, and it doesn't matter.
Okay. And how does your system hear the aggression?
That I don't matter.
Say again, that you don't matter. Okay. And so hearing it like that, what happens in you?
feel sad
So
about it.
somewhere, yeah. So somewhere in your system, there's this filter about mattering. So somehow there's this filter of mattering, yeah? So the opportunity is just to explore that filter, mattering.
What did you say after explore that filter?
Yeah, I mean, like there's this filter about mattering, yeah?
Shaking. There's also the feeling that I can't be like kind or giving because she's just going to like, stamp all over me or abuse that kindness or something. Which doesn't really feel like her because she is an alright person.
Yeah, so there's tons to explore, you know. I mean, if it's interesting, you know, it's just like the filter of mattering is a big one.
Yeah.
I matter, you matter, we matter, doesn't matter.
It comes down to wanting to be loved, doesn't
So what truly matters, and what does mattering mean?
it? I guess it's where I put my importance.
Yeah, and where importance gets placed, has that been conditioned, or is that I mean, I wonder if you spoke to a little baby about mattering. You tell them what really matters. They, dot, 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 dot.
It feels clearer.
Okay. Cool.
Thank you.
Yeah, thank you. Did you wave your hand, Charika?
Isaac Hans is raising his hand.
Here I am.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, great. I'll see you now. See you. You know, like sometimes every pictures are frozen and I don't see any movement. So
Yeah.
welcome, Hans. Thanks for letting me know.
Thanks. I kind of in a feeling of this exchange of this love affair, and yeah. Because even this feeling of liking or disliking disappeared. Certainly there are all movements and I can see the difference, but there is no like or dislike. There is no need to see what's going on or to fix anything or to get involved in
Anything.
Yeah, anything. There's a tendency, of course, that focus of attention is drawn into it, but somehow, no, the like and the dislike is kind of gone. But then this draw into this area of this bigger awareness or something, it's happened automatically because I thought I had to do something in this exchange of this love affair, but even this love affair is happening by itself, as far as I could see a few seconds ago.
Yeah.
It's strange because it has to go with this honoring of all the things which are happening. It has to go with that honoring. But it cannot affect me or so. It cannot all the things which are happening are not affecting me.
Yeah.
It's not affecting me, no.
Including the emotions and the thoughts and everything that comes across the screen. Doesn't touch who we are.
No. Even it can be there now because there was also kind of tendency to get rid of it or whatever, but it's totally not the case. It can be there, but it's not a duality anymore. It's just there as an expression. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Beautiful, beautiful scene.
Yeah. It's so um,
Thank you, Bettina, for hosting. Thank you, beloveds. Happy birthday, Arnie. Okay. Yeah. Love to all.